morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Tuesday Transformation Tidbits, where every Tuesday we come together to stir your faith, sharpen your focus, and to shift you into the next level. In this particular series, we've been dealing with embody, and embody is really the turning point in transformation. Is when we stop working on being transformed, and we become living, and we begin to do something like living it out. It's when we shift from the external efforts into the internal efforts, as in the introspection of ourselves, becoming who we are in the Father. In week 5, which is the week that we're in now, we're going to be talking about embody the present. We're going to be talking about how posture yields poise, and poise is going to yield power. As we do always, we have a scripture that we frame to go along with our tidbit of the day. Joshua 1:9 is the scripture that we're going to be using on today. And this scripture talks about be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And I don't know about you, but that scripture that tells me to be strong and courageous because the Father is with me. This scripture, it talks about character. It talks about a call. It talks about strength, courage, and it talks about the presence of the Lord that's always with you. When we look at this scripture, it's rooted in confidence to know that God is near you. Irregardless, or that's not a word, regardless of what goes on in life, you know that the Father is near you. There's a scripture that talks about in the Bible that He will never leave you, nor will the Father forsake you. When we look at the scripture, it shaped us in how we should stand. The scripture really, it deals with how we should respond and how we carry ourselves every day, every minute of the day. The scripture, it really deals with, it builds our posture. It cultivates a poise inside of it. And ultimately what it does, it's releasing the power of God on the inside of us when we look at things. Oftentimes we've heard so many times that presence really is not performance. You don't get Academy Award for your presence. I mean, some people who are actors probably do because they're portraying themselves to be a number of different people. But when we look at presence, your presence is really the quiet authority of someone who's become who you know that you're becoming. Who are you becoming? Because it's the quiet authority that lives on the inside of you. And this week, we're going to be talking about showing up, but we're showing up as a transformed version of who we're coming. And we're going to be in real time. We're going to be talking about, we're not waiting for the perfect moment. We're not waiting for the perfect mood that we need to be in. We're not even waiting for the perfect condition to become who the Father is. But we're showing up in our transformed version in real time. We understand that our presence is our character that's going to be made visible. Whatever your presence is, it is the character that you have that's going to be made visible. You see, oftentimes people often feel your confidence. They say before you speak a word, they feel how confident you are by the way that you enter the room. And they say how you handle pressure, the way that you respond to challenges, how you remain steady when life seems to be life. Then all of that says, it talks about your presence, and your presence really is built on various situations that you have encountered in life. If you were someone who are walking around and you're not healed, your presence displays characteristics to show that you're still a person that is hurting. But when you are a healed person, your character portrays someone who is healed. When you understand your identity, your character displays someone who knows who they are. So when we begin to talk about your posture really yields poise, and poise really yields power. When we talk about posture, we're talking about how we carry ourselves. The scripture talks about be strong. So posture really is more than our shoulders back. and our chin lifted. It is the internal stance that you take before you enter a room. It's how you show up before you even speak a word out of your mouth. You see, posture really, it says stuff like, I belong here. Your posture really indicates things like, I'm grounded. I'm aligned with who I'm becoming. It really talks about you being anchored, you steady, and you're not shrinking and being in the midst of other people. Your posture preaches before you even speak. It is identity worn like a garment that's on you. It's the stance that's on the inside of you. So your posture really yields poise. And when we talk about poise, we're talking about how you respond under pressure. The scripture talks about be courageous. So your poise is the discipline of staying centered when life is pulling you off balance. Life is making you weebling and wobbling side to side, but your poise says that I'm disciplined. I'm centered. It has a calm confidence in the face of your uncertainty. It is the quiet confidence that refuse to be shaken. It is the emotional steadiness that is rooted in trust. I trust in the Father. So I'm steady in the things that I'm becoming because I understand where my lifeline is. I understand where my strength is. Poise is the fruit in the internal and the inner stability of who you are. It's the evidence that your identity is no longer fragile. Your poise says something like, I can handle this. I'm not going to fold under pressure. I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to give up. I respond with clarity in the midst of chaos. My presence is in motion when I walk in a room. So I have to poise myself. And poise is going to yield power. The power, the atmosphere is what you carry. Power is in the atmosphere. It's the atmosphere that you carry. The scripture says, for the Lord thy God is with you wherever you go. Power is not the volume. A lot of times we turn up the volume and we say we got the power. It's not force. It's not dominancy. But power is the spiritual and the emotional weight of someone who's rooted, someone who's whole, and someone who's present. It's the quiet confidence that really shifts the room. How can our power be the quiet confidence to shift the room? Because the power of God is on the inside of us. And the power of God is really the shifting mechanism in the room. It's the grace that steadies conversation. It's the authority that comes from alignment. Presence is power because presence is identity that is embodied. Power is atmosphere created when posture and poise are working together. They meet together. So power becomes the atmosphere that's created. You see, when you got power says that I carry divine backing. Power says that I've got assurance of who I am because of my connection. Power says that my presence is strengthened by his presence. Power says that this is the kind of power that you have that will shift the room without you even raising your voice. It's the power that's on the inside of you. You can use your inside voice and not speak loud because you're speaking with power. You're speaking with authority in the things that you're saying. So people often feel that they can tell the confidence that you have by the words that you speak. So On this week, I want us to stand in who God has called you to become. Stop shrinking to fit in with people, places, and even stop shrinking to be the version of the person that you have already outgrown. If you've outgrown for some of the characteristics of the person that you used to be, that means that it doesn't fit you any longer. It's just like some clothes that we outgrown because maybe we have increased in weight. Those clothes just don't fit any longer. So give it away. Give the old version of who you are away. And then I want you to speak. Your words should reflect your growth. So speak with wisdom, speak with faith, speak with clarity of who it is that you're becoming. And then I want you to be steady in pressure, steady in the process of who you come, steady with waiting on the Father to continue to develop you to be who He wants you to be in 26. Steady and growing, continue to grow in the things that the Father wants you to do. You see, this week, there's some things that I want you to do when you carry yourself to your future self of who you're going to be. I want you to adjust your posture. Come on. We all going to sit up. We're going to put our shoulders back and we're going to hold our chin up. We're going to slow our breathing when it comes time to do something that the Father has gifted us to do. We're going to slow it down. I don't know about you, but when it comes time for me to speak in front of people or really do anything, I get nervous. My hands start sweating. I begin to speak real fast. I jumble my words, but I've learned how to take a deep breath and speak with clarity. Be precise, enunciate and pronunciate. Now, I don't get it right all the time, but I'm learning how to do it. And then when we have to enter certain rooms, we got to enter the rooms with being intentional. I'm intentionally walking in this room and doing what the Father has called me to do because the Father is with me. And then when I respond to stuff, I have to respond with a grounded confidence, knowing that if He opened the door, knowing that if He called me to do it, that I'm going to do just what He called me to do. And I'm the one that He's going to give what needs to be given at that particular time. You see, your presence is not something that you put on, but it's really something that you embody. So we got to learn how to stop putting on of who we are that we really not. Stop using the version that we grow out of and become who the Father is. Because our presence is not something that we put on, but it's something that we need to embody, something that we need to take everywhere we go. It's something or someone that we need to act like wherever we are all the time. Family, on today, I want us to realize that we got to adjust our posture. We got to slow down and breathe. Understand that we're qualified to be in the room. If the Father has delegated for us to be there, walk in there and be intentional. Walk in there with grounded confidence, knowing that whatever it is that you have to do, you're going to execute that thing in a way of excellence, because the Father has given it to you for you to do. Family, thank you for joining me on today. Next week is week 6. It is the last episode in this series, and we're going to embody the future self. Characters that's going to be aligned with the long-term identity that the Father has given us for 2026. Next year, we're going to talk about that vision is going to yield our decision, and our decision is going to yield the destiny that the Father has for us. I don't want you to miss it next week. So come back and join me. But this week, whatever room that the Father opens the door for you to walk in, I want you to adjust your posture. When you get nervous, I want you to slow down that breathing. I want you to speak with clarity. Enter that room with intentions. Because if the Father invited you in, know that you're somebody and you're there on assignment. So respond with grounded confidence. Understand presence is not something that you're putting on, but it's something that you embody. Be amazing, family, on today. Shalom.